Hello, everyone, and welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD. And today we are reviewing and analyzing chapter 203 of Dr. Stone. Now, I'm actually very excited for this chapter. We actually got a bit of learning and traveling and the old feel. I don't want to say the old feel of Dr. Stone because like it didn't change too much, but there has been a bit of a pacing issue as I've discussed in the last chapters. But this kind of slowed things down a little bit, just a smidgen. It's still going rather fast, but things were, we got some expositional things. We learned some new things, so I'm really excited to get into that. Also, there was a popularity contest in this one, but for some reason, we only got to see the top three. So I'm wondering if that was on purpose, intentional, or I don't know. I don't really understand what happened there. So if one of you could fill me in, I'd appreciate that. Also, last but not least, I wanted to see you got all of your thoughts on there's a new series that came out called the Hunter Guild Red Hood, or the Hunters Red Hood, something along those lines. And I was thinking about, giving it a little trial run, reviewing it. So if you guys are interested in that, I might just do, a quick pilot episode review, and then, you know, see the vested interest. Anyway, if this is your first time or you've been here before, would greatly appreciate it if you guys could like and bang that bell button. Subscribe to me would mean the world to me. Like, share, and subscribe, please. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys. So the chapter starts off with a popularity contest in the title page, and I was actually surprised by the results. You have Jin in first place, Senku in second, and Ryusui in third place. I do understand that those are all very popular characters, but the margins by which like Jin won, and the fact that like Senku you would think would be in first place. Now I know that there are a bunch of mangas where the main character isn't people's favorite. Like for example, me and Hunter x Hunter, I love Killua. So like I think he's typically like first place in that series. But yeah, I was actually really surprised that it was Jin of all people. Like yeah, he holds a major role from time to time, and he's a funny character. But for him to take secure first place, really interesting. I also think it's sad that I guess we've like lost the hype behind like one of my favorites, Kohaku, and we've lost, Tsukasa, but it makes sense because, as the series has progressed, they've been, somewhat replaced by these newer characters. I'm surprised Xenos isn't up there. Surprised like, Stanley isn't up there. But yeah, I was really sad for Kohaku and Tsukasa. They were kind of up there for me, but once again, not their usefulness. Their usefulness is still there, but they're not quite as on screen anymore. So, meh, what can you do? The three people who won the popularity contest are probably the most involved right now, with a variety of things. I would argue Jin isn't, but he has been, and he will have important roles coming up. So that's all I will say on that. So we start the chapter, and looks like we're still kind of in Barcelona. It's not for long, don't worry. But and we don't get any exposition into like the people or anything like that. It's just we have huge deposits of fluorite. I don't know how long they've been in Barcelona, but they've been there long enough to collect a fuck ton of fluorite. And the first thing that Senku does with it is make a giant lens, to which he makes for a telescope, and then they can even see the moon from Earth using the telescope, even though it's blurry. So honestly, that's actually mad impressive. And they were kind of hinting at the fact that if we make a bigger one, maybe we could see the man on the moon himself. So Senku immediately shuts down that idea, says that they would need a large processing facility in order to create something like that. So maybe down the line they'll have that ability, or maybe they just simply they have to take the L on that. But I was glad that that was brought up or mentioned, because that's a question I would have had as well. Like, can we make a giant super telescope? Also, something I was wondering, I was low key waiting for him to like either fix or upgrade Suika's glasses. For the last however long, over 7 years, I think. Yeah, over 7 years. From when like she got petrified and got kind of like broken. It's been half her helmet hanging here, and it only has like a partial part of her lenses. It hasn't really seemed to be an issue to her. Like I thought when she first found it, oh, I'm like, oh, she's not gonna be able to see as well. Like there's still pieces of the lens, so she'll use that. But like when she revised everyone, it'll get fixed. Nah, it's still the same, still not getting fixed. And I'm like, is she just doing that thing where like your glasses are down here and you're like looking down at an angle? That has to get annoying after a while. So was really surprised that they didn't use this chapter to like rebuild Suika glass, right, like regular glasses without the potato the pumpkin or whatever it was, whatever the melon she's using is. Maybe maybe it works fine for her. Maybe it's a character design choice. He like the mangaka likes this new style. I have no clue, but I just found that to be interesting. Anyway, I want to get to a part that kind of bothered me. It wasn't bad, it just bothered me because I'm Nigerian. So these guys are trying to get to Map City, aka India, right? And my question, by the way, is if you guys can let me know in the comments, what do you think is the significance of India and like Map City? Like, what exactly is being done there? Like, part of me, part of me is like, okay, is it the people? Indians are very known for being well, that's more of a cultural thing and especially coming to America, but they are rather intelligent. They do work a lot in technology and medicine. You have a lot of Indian doctors and you have a lot of um Indian people in like technological fields. So I was wondering, does he just want access to the people to crunch numbers? But then I was like, why can't he and Xenos crunch numbers? Now I know that it's like normally in real life you would be like that's putting a lot on them, but at the end of the day, this is a manga, and they're geniuses in said manga, and they're doing wild, crazy things like every day. And this is the same Senku and Xenos that like counted every second. They were petrified for thousands of years. So like I don't see why rocket mathematics, what's it called? What's that joint called? Rocket science, wouldn't be, just something they could tag on. So I don't really think it's that. My biggest theory is that, maybe computer parts, components, and CPUs they'll get from there. But my thing is all of those are going to be degraded and weathered down. So maybe once again it goes back to reviving the people with the knowledge to rebuild those parts. Because, it's one thing to be a super genius, but and like know science, but to know the intricacies of how everything works is a little bit tougher. How to make certain things, like you can know how to use a computer, you can know how to code, but you might not know like how to build a CPU, a motherboard, all that stuff. So maybe he needs the help of people in India to do that. But like I googled like why like Map City and like where like computer parts and like all that stuff would come from. And like I saw like Taiwan, Malaysia, some other places, but not a mention of India. So very, very curious about that. But the thing I wanted to talk about that kind of bothered me was in order to get to India, they're going to have to travel all along the coast of Africa to get there. And that's going to take a considerable amount of time because of how big the new Perseus is and how little fuel they have. And it's going to take them about a year detour. And they're like, we can't do that. That's going to add so much time. And so they're like, okay, let's go through the Suez Canal. Now, before I get into the issues with that, the thing that bothered me the most was, wait, we're not going to Africa? We're not going to Africa? The heart of civilization? The heart of civilization? The most natural resource filled continent in the entire planet? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like as a Nigerian, that's where I'm from. I'm from Nigeria. That hit a blow to me. Like, wow, we're really just gonna skip over Africa. Like we're literally just gonna use the Suez Canal and screw everything. Like I pulled it up and like Africa is one of the leading producers and like no, the continent itself has a massive amount of natural oil and gas. It has diamonds, gold, iron, cobalt, uranium, copper, bauxite, silver, platinum. It also has petroleum, and then how like they like to collect things for food and whatnot, and just for leisure. It has cocoa, sugar, salt. It has wood. It has various types of wood and tropical fruits. So a lot of things they can advantage from. Now I know some of you might be going, well, they already have iron and gold and whatnot, and like Senku found a way to like make fake diamonds, and like they don't need oil and gas because they have the biofuel. But like, how long does it take to make biofuel? Like I wasn't positive. I googled, and it could take anywhere from 9 to 90 days. I know because of the manga and because of Senku, they're probably going to go on the lower half. It's probably 10 to 20 days for them because they're geniuses and like make it perfectly. But wouldn't regular oil and gas be more usable? Now I know another argument might be they're not going to have the time to drill and find all that stuff and that to travel on land. And to that I say, but they've been able to do that everywhere else. Like we were just in South America and they were able to find all the minerals and stuff they needed there. We got to Barcelona, we were able to find all the fluorite there in a rather short time. Once again, I have to find out accurate times of how long we're at these places, but that shit bothers me a lot. Also, a question I have is the new Perseus also an aircraft carrier? I know before it got destroyed, they had turned into an aircraft carrier, but now this new Perseus is more like of a a jet powered ship, right? Like battleship almost. But I'm like, is there still like I tried to look at the design and like I don't know if it doesn't really look like there's a launching pad. But I was like, why didn't we rebuild a plane? Why don't we use that for side missions where we have to go somewhere? If we go to a continent and like the resource we need is not exactly on the coast, so we have to go to land so that we don't spend forever trying to travel. I really do think that a plane would be very useful. Part of me was like, instead of a ship, why not build a plane in general? But I understand that building a giant plane would take excessive amounts of work, and I think that maybe building a ship was way easier. Maybe it can hold more, et cetera, et cetera. I know that there's probably a lot of arguments one can throw about it. I am very interested to have a debate and discussion about this. Maybe I'll leave a comment in the comment section about two things. One, why do you think we're skipping out on all the natural resources that Africa has? Africa by itself has a lot of the resources that we're trying to get from other places. Also, it's a great place for agriculture because of the sun, and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, I'm incredibly curious about that. Also, why didn't we build like a cargo plane? We can once again say it would have taken too long. The aerodynamics would have been too hard. Making it would have been hard, but I don't know. We built a whole freaking ship that by modern standards is really impressive. So I'm gonna leave that at there. But that did kind of disappoint me. That did kind of sadden me. Anyway, moving on to the Suez Canal. I immediately when I read that they're going there, I was like, whoa, 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 we can't do that. Wasn't the same reason we couldn't use the Panama Canal because thousands of years have passed and it's probably blocked by now. And ironically, literally this year, it was this year, I believe, that the Suez Canal got blocked by a ship. So I'm thinking, that thing is probably more blocked now, and you try to fit a ship through it, you guys are going to get stuck. Luckily, the mangaka thought about that. He planned for it, and they created not only a new air balloon, and I love every time there's a callback to something we've seen already. And so we've already made air balloons, so that was really good. I wonder why it says hell though. That's kind of funny. It's labeled hell on it, and we give the the geographer a telescope so she can see ahead, and we see that it is actually blocked by what appears to be a natural dam. But no fear, barely, hardly an inconvenience because we are going to use the miniature rocket that Senku made earlier this chapter, or showcased earlier this chapter. That might be more correct to say, to blow up through it. Because at the end of the day, a rocket and a missile are no different from one another, right? And so, actually, which is by the way why you're not allowed to just by yourself make a rocket. I always thought that was interesting that like Senku was like making it and developing his own rocket. Like you can get on like terrorist watch lists for that. There was a whole movie about this farmer that was making a rocket silo on his farm, and I think like the government and stuff came for him because when you try to acquire a rocket fuel that can be used to create missiles, and so the government has to be wary of that. So I like that connection. I like that was brought up. So that was really good on the mangaka, really good on the yeah, just really good for story purposes. And Senku even says early in the chapter that he needs to test this miniature rocket. So what better way to test it than to blow up this dam? Even though I don't know if it'll really show its like aerodynamics and ability to pierce the atmosphere by like not going several like hundreds of miles in the air as opposed to like a few hundred miles forward and blowing up a dam. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. It was a brilliant plan. I feel super bad for any beavers or any creatures that were like living off that dam. That dam was important for them. Yeah, screw that. We have human civilization to save, so screw your dam, damn your dam. So I found that to be really interesting. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave the review there for now. We're on our way to India. My questions about the significance of Map City will be answered soon. Exactly what resource are we getting from Map City? That's gonna be another question I leave in the comment section. Yeah, I think I'll leave those three comments. Why don't you think we're stopping in Africa for their resources? To um Two, why didn't Seku create a cargo ship or something of that nature? Maybe it's the landing, etc. Or do you think the Perseus has a little mini airplane built upon it? And then three, what do you think the resource for Map City in India is going to be? Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I know some of you have been following me since like I started this review chapter, and for those people, I just want to say thank you so much. It means so much to me that you guys have been here with me so long, and that a lot of you actually comment and engage in conversation with me, and I really do appreciate that. It's fun for me, and it just show it. It makes me feel like my videos aren't just going into the void. They don't just exist to exist. That people are seeing them, and it's sparking conversation debate, and I can't tell you how happy that makes me. So thank you guys very much. Anyway, this has been Otaku Talk, and this is your host OD signing out. Take care, have a great day, and like I said, tune in to my review of the first pilot chapter of Hunter Guild: The Red Hood. Take care.